Good evening and a very warm welcome to your platform on NewsX. Speak Out India, I'm Akshay Tandon. Today, in the landmark decision, the Central Information Commission, the CIC, has ruled that political parties will now come under the ambit of the Right to Information Act. The ruling provides for greater transparency in the working of the political parties. This means that information can now be sought from any entity belonging to any political party in the form of written records that could include details about their funding, expenditure and even selection of poll candidates. The CIC's order was in response to a clutch of petitions filed by senior advocate and activist Prashant Bhushan and RTI activist Subhash Agarwal, among others, who had argued that political parties should come under the RTI.
ये एक लंबा व्यापक विषय है और इस पर विस्तार से बात होनी चाहिए, राष्ट्रीय बहस होनी चाहिए, चर्चा होनी चाहिए, उसके बाद जो सब होगी राय होगी।
देखिए, चुनाव आयोग एक संवैधानिक संस्था है। ये चुनाव आयोग को तय करना है कि राजनीतिक पार्टियां या उम्मीदवार चुनाव आयोग के प्रति जवाबदेह हैं या सूचना आयोग के प्रति। चुनाव आयोग को अपना पार्टी का खर्च, अपने पार्टी के उम्मीदवारों का खर्च दें या सूचना आयोग को, ये चुनाव आयोग को तय करना है। इसमें राजनीतिक पार्टियों की कोई समस्या नहीं। लेकिन जहां तक राजनीतिक पार्टियों के खर्च का विषय है, राजनीतिक पार्टियां खुद अपना खर्च, अपने उम्मीदवारों का खर्च, अपनी आमदनी और अपने खर्च का ब्यौरा इनकम टैक्स विभाग के साथ साथ चुनाव आयोग को भी देती है और चुनाव आयोग के वेबसाइट पर खुले तौर से रहता है, जिसकी जानकारी कोई भी ले सकता है, कभी भी ले सकता है। जहां तक सवाल है, चुनाव में सुधार की प्रक्रिया की बहुत गुंजाइश है और होना भी चाहिए। इसके बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी बार बार सरकार को कह चुकी है कि चुनाव सुधार की प्रक्रिया को तेज किया जाए।
बिल्कुल गलत बात है। वो बीसीसीआई जो देश को चौपट कर दी, उसका तो कार्य किए नहीं है और ये कोई सेवा की जगह है या कोई हिसाब किताब की जगह है। चुनाव आयोग हमारा खर्च लेता ही है।
So the questions we are putting out tonight for the people of India on Speak Out India are: will this bring in the much needed transparency in political funding? Will this prevent tainted candidates from contesting? Is this a victory of sorts of civil rights movement over political class? Well, our telephone lines are open. Do call us on 01204369420. We'll be happy if you share your thoughts and your views on the subject we are discussing tonight. Joining me on the show as we take this subject forward, I have with me Ms. Amarjeet Kaur, National Secretary of the CPI, and I also have with me Ms. Sunita Godara. She is a social activist and a women's rights activist as well. I'm going to begin by asking you, Mrs. Kaur, do you welcome this?
No, it's too simplistic situation, thinking that political parties will be very, very transparent and accountable by just putting them under RTI. I think this will be wrong notion. Rather, it will be weakening People's Representation Act. It will be weakening Election Commission. It will be putting political parties into another kind of a web, that instead of they being accountable to people and working for the people and doing everyday services to the people, instead of that they will be busy only in replying small questions only. What needed is actually to make political parties transparent about their fund collections, to make them transparent, to tell the sources of funds, to make them transparent that they do file income tax. Those are the things, and then on their programs, activities, you can always, because they are open, it's not secret, political parties function openly. But you need to correct them at that level. Electoral reforms is much more necessary than bringing them under RTI.
But tell me, Mrs. Kaur, you said that this is going to weaken people further, the representation of people is going to be weakened further. By being answerable to people, how do you weaken yourselves?
I didn't say it will weaken people. I said it will weaken People's Representation
Act.
How
will it weaken? How will you weaken yourself as a political party? By being answerable to people who have elected you in power.
We should be answerable, but you should put the nail at proper place. By putting them under RTI, you are going to open a Pandora box where political parties will be involved and engaged in different kinds of activities instead of doing what they should do for the people.
But what is there to hide in that Pandora's box, ma'am? What is there to hide?
I tell you, when we were not under RTI,
Yes.
we do receive some kinds of questions under RTI, whereas we are replying we are not under RTI. But what are the kind of questions? In this particular branch, how many party members you have? Okay, in that district, how many you have? How many meetings you have held? And in which meeting, which decision taken? Everything is open. We go to the press conferences, we take decisions, our membership is known. What should be actually asked is that political parties should be accountable in fund collection. They should be transparent in their decision making, open to the people.
So this will be the answer. This will be the answer. I'm going to come back to you. Mrs. Sunita Godara, you know, you've heard the argument so far. Are you with Mrs. Kaur on what she is saying, that this is going to weaken the people's representation if political parties come under the RTI?
See what Mrs. Kaur is saying, because she is already in the party. So they feel that whatever they are doing for the public, if RTI comes in, then there will be a lot of unnecessary questions. But if everywhere...
No, what are these unnecessary questions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By 1 minute. If I ask how many people are working in a particular branch of a party in a particular state or a district, is that unnecessary?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Everything should be on the website. Their budget, their resources, and their party workers, members, whatever it is. If it is on the website, then only one line answer is sufficient for RTI, that go to this website, click and get the answer.
You know, I want to understand from you, Mrs. Kaur, why is it that these political parties, including yours, are opposing it? What is so difficult for you to come out and answer? There was an argument from one of the parties that said that political parties are going to be wasting time answering all these questions. My argument to that is, what about the other organizations who are under RTI? Even they are wasting their time then.
You see, what for RTI was made? RTI was made, the objective was that governance should be made accountable. Once you collect revenue from the people, from different activities, then when you make the budgeting and when you allocate the budgeting, is it going to the people for what it was meant? So it was actually, RTI was meant for correcting governance.
Okay.
Now there, if you want political parties not to put up wrong candidates, criminal candidates, communal candidates or others, then it is People Representation Act and the Election Commission and electoral reforms which come into picture. That is where you need to correct. If you want to correct them on how they are collecting funds, from which sources they are collecting, how they are spending, if you want that, then you have Income Tax Department, you have other departments to look into it. If you find any kind of frauds and all, political parties under any law can be tried.
Sunita,
but in small questions, if you put the political parties into that, they will be put in a cobweb where they will not be able to work actually what they should
Point
do.
taken. I want to bring in someone else of the show as well. Sunita, I'm coming to you. I want to bring in Mr. Anil Berwal, who is the ADR National Coordinator and a petitioner in this case. Mr. Berwal, do you think political parties are going to be caught in a cobweb with these kind of questions that are going to be posed to them, or is it just that people want to know more clearly and they want the entire system to be further transparent and they think they'll be empowered because it's their right to know what's happening after all in these political parties? Mr. Berwal.
Yeah, see, let me just begin with this, that political parties have been very resistant to any change that can bring a little bit of transparency in their functioning. Whether it was the original judgment of the Supreme Court, where Supreme Court ordered that everybody who contests election should have to declare their antecedents, or it was the 2, 3, 4, 5 years back judgment of CIC, where CIC said, that was also our case, where we had asked for information under RTI about the income tax details of these political parties, their donation details. Now all the political parties are saying that donations are easily available to everybody. In fact, every political party, regardless of whichever party it is, every political party opposed that order also in CIC. Thankfully nobody went to the court, but in front of CIC every party resisted it. So I think it is the nature of our political parties that they resist. But today I think people are looking for more participation. They are looking for more information and they are looking for more transparency of every type in the political parties. Whether it is financial transparency or operational transparency or inner party democracy type of transparency.
Okay.
Because the political parties
Mr. Beharbal, I'm going to request you to hold your thoughts. I will come to you. I have a few people who have started calling us on the show. Stay with me, Mr. Beharbal. Let me go across to now Paresh, who joins us from Gujarat. Paresh, go ahead. Speak your mind out.
किसी उद्योग गृह ने किसी पार्टी को डोनेशन दिया, क्यों दिया, किस कारण से दिया, किस फायदे के लिए दिया, क्या आरटीआई के अंदर ये आ सकता है? सीआईसी को तो पहले मैं अभिनंदन देना चाहता हूं कि इन पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों को लाए। मैंने सुना है 1400 पार्टियां है भारत देश के अंदर, वो किसके पैसे से चलती है और वो पार्टियां ये पैसे का क्या करती है, जनता के लिए वो क्या करती है, क्या वो भी आरटीआई के द्वारा मिल पाएगा? धन्यवाद.
Right. Thank you, Paresh. Sunita, I want to bring you in here. You know, one of the points of contention that political parties have, they say that they are not public authorities. That's one of the key contentious points. But my point is that under the RTI Act, applicable only to public authorities, and public authorities means one of the clauses there, it says that if you are substantially financed by the government. Now, the government in many ways help these political parties in exemptions. Isn't that substantially helping them?
Indirectly, they are getting a lot of exemptions.
Absolutely.
They
So,
have
don't they become public authorities then?
First of all, this RTI will give benefit to the public to ask whatever they want to ask to the parties. Especially they will ask about the income, from where the income is coming. Election Commission can also do so many things. They can strictly follow the rules, and they can tight these political parties who are not following the rules and regulations, because there are so much of jiggery-pooggery going on inside parties.
Right.
So Election Commission has to be tight. Secondly, even if RTI comes, they should not worry, because they are making money from somewhere. They are getting money to do public service.
Right.
So the public has all the right to ask them from where the money is coming.
Stay on with me. Rajendra from Kerala, I'm coming to you. Stay with me for a minute. Stay on the phone and I'm coming to you. Go ahead, Mrs. Kaur, you want to make a point.
First thing, this is wrong to say that the political parties didn't want the affidavits to be given by those to-be candidates about their assets and all. I know our party was in favor of it. Several other parties were in favor of it. Maybe one or two must have opposed. So this is wrong to say. Secondly, we will be weakening this whole agenda of electoral reforms. We need to strengthen electoral reforms. We need to strengthen Election Commission. We need to see to it that the criminal candidates don't come, communal candidates don't come, and we need to see it is that income tax department is made more forcibly to take
you know, Mrs.
all
Kaur,
the
your
political
argument is
coming.
taken. Your argument is taken. We need to reform electoral reforms.
Even on RTI.
But today, why do you fear the RTI coming in? Electoral reforms is a different subject.
It's not the question of fearing.
It's a different subject you're debating after all.
Because
electoral reforms should be there, but we're discussing the RTI. Why don't we talk about...
If RTI finishes off the agenda, the real agenda which is most necessary in the country, 140 MPs in the country, present MPs I am talking, 140 MPs have some kind of the other criminal case going on. 306 MPs are crorpatis, we know it. All that assets telling and all, we think this transparency. From communist point of view, I'll be most happy to let the people know who are paying, for what they are paying.
I'm going to... I want to bring in a few more callers who have questions.
RTI
One moment, ma'am. Let's listen to a few more questions. Rajendra from Kerala, Ajay Kumar from Delhi. Ajay Kumar, stay with me. Rajendra, go ahead, speak your mind out. Rajendra, you'll have to reduce the volume of your television set. Kindly switch off your television set and start speaking on the show.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
From Kerala.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, this is a very crucial decision of the CIC to check the implement the role of RTI among political parties. I think that it will curtail the corruption in India, because all corruption charges are against our political leaders. I am wondering why the government is not implementing it among NGOs, which are actually behind Naxalism and other...
Your point is very valid, Rajendra, that it's not just about political parties. The RTI should actually extend to many more organizations, perhaps even the media, as some people like to point out. Thanks very much, Rajendra. Ajay Kumar from Delhi, go ahead.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much. This is Ajay Kumar Goel from Delhi.
Yes,
you see, the congratulations to live coverage for News for this important topic today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And not only that, you see, it is a great day for today that CIC has ordered this.
Yes.
And not only that, it is very pertinent. You see, because as per the CEC,
yes,
when all the elected representatives have to submit their RTI information with respect to expenditure,
yes,
it is but natural and logical that all the parties must come under the RTI.
Sure.
Not only this, now we see the political parties and the representatives, they will oppose it. But it is upon the media and the civil society to take it up. Now it is the golden opportunity and we must not miss it to clear up the politics.
Okay. All right, Ajay Kumar. Thanks very much for the appreciation. Point taken. Vijay Sharma from Delhi, go ahead. All right, we've lost that caller. Please do call us back, Vijay Sharma, if you're still listening to us. I want to go back to Mr. Berwal. Mr. Berwal, you know, we had Mrs. Kaur here who's saying that this is going to somewhere weaken the entire agenda. Now, electoral reforms kept aside, how do we tackle this form of, you know, reluctance from political parties? Today we were speaking to a former CIC as well who said the next thing you know is political parties are going to approach the High Court. So how do we move forward? Go ahead, Mr. Berwal.
Yeah, see, if they approach the High Court, I mean, you know, that's the, I guess, logical, well, there is one of the things for them to do.
Right.
But I think if the political parties, and this is what they say, publicly, they say that they have nothing to hide, they are 100% for transparency. So, if they don't have anything to hide, why oppose it?
Absolutely.
Point that this is going to weaken the electoral reforms. I want to ask all the political party leaders, who is stopping them from doing these political reforms?
Okay, we'll ask that question to Ms. Kaur. We'll ask that question to Mrs. Kaur. Go ahead, reply to that. Who's stopping you from these reforms?
You see, we are not afraid of RTI. First, let it be clear.
Okay.
Secondly, you very same people should tell, should the NGOs also come in under it? Should the media also come under it? You please reply. They should also. All those NGOs who went for this thing, they should also be under this. Why only political parties? Third thing, I again say, you cannot give blanket check that everything under the sun should be covered of the political parties under RTI. If you want to make selections, which are the portion where they are going under income tax, that part to be covered by RTI, I am ready for it.
Okay.
If you are Election Commission and People's Representation Act, this is what they are doing, this portion is left, that should be done.
Okay.
But in the day-to-day functioning, where you have to deliver services to the people, talk to them, mobilize them, and all, that will be big hindrance.
Okay.
And people will be only busy, their political party offices will be
only
functioning, only replying.
Okay, I'm coming to you, Sunita. I'm coming to you. Do stay with me. We have Babington from Mumbai, and we also have another caller there who's joining us from Delhi. Do stay on with us. I'm coming to you. Sundar Rajan, stay on with me. Before that, Sunita, go ahead.
See, if the means and the methods of political parties are correct, then they should not worry. What Mrs. Kaur is saying, but then the main problem is most of the parties are doing jigri-pugri, so that this RTI will, when it comes in the picture, and secondly, why only political party and not NGOs? NGOs are already coming under RTI if Lokpal will come.
Understand, is this,
if the government Lokpal will come.
I'll ask Mrs. Kaur that, is this really a tit for tat? First them, then we, I'll come back to that. But I want to bring in a few callers. Sundar Rajan from Delhi and Babington from Mumbai. Babington, stay on with us. Sundar Rajan, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm listening to this debate.
Yes.
I am with Ms. Samarjit Kaur.
Yes.
Which is correct.
Okay.
When I am a salaried class person,
okay,
I have seen various things which is happening for the last few years about the RTI Act.
Okay.
Have you ever analyzed or made a research whether the information being given by the government departments or other ministries is fully and updated or not? That is statutory disclosure.
Okay.
That is no, that is institution within CIC to monitor these things. Which has been happening during the last 4 years.
Okay.
They are bringing more and more institutions.
Okay.
And just to confuse the things and to make such a certain institution to weaken the institution. My opinion is it is to weaken the institution because the National Central Information Commissioners, they are not in a position even to monitor the things which is being statutorily declared in the government website.
Sundar, point taken. I'll have to cut you short there, please. I have to take a few more callers, Sundar. I'm afraid I have to cut you short. Thanks very much for that point. Badminton from Mumbai, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just want to tell you this. We are talking about RTI and all these things, okay?
Yes.
But you know, all the parties are the same. They are a bunch of bananas. If you see a bunch of bananas, nothing is straight. Are they going to make this straight?
Okay. All right, Badminton. Question there. I'm going to put that across also to the panelists. Thanks very much. Sudeep Sahu from Ghaziabad. Go ahead.
Actually, sir, why political parties are cheering?
Yes.
For RTI implications, which CIS has said. It was the duty of the government to compel these political parties to come forward and declare all their incomes and expenditures to the public.
Right.
And all the, I think that Congress party has more than 4,000 crore rupees as donations.
Okay.
And many other parties are also
absolutely. What is the source of this money? Where is it coming from? Very important to know. Thanks very much, Sudeep. Sudhir Pandey from Mumbai. Go ahead. Speak your mind out.
Yeah, thank you. What I can see, a lot of apprehension with the political parties about coming under RTI.
Yes.
On the contrary, I feel they should have been welcoming it. I mean, they are honest and they are for the social service. They are doing for the public.
Absolutely.
Good. But since they are so scared, wo kehte na chor ki daadi mein tinka.
Right.
Number second point, you can have a website the way the Aam Aadmi Party has. Keep everything transparent. Let anyone can come to the website and read it. There shouldn't be anything in that. So thirdly, I would like to say this TV advertisement which are coming, I could see during Mayawati time. Lot of advertising.
Absolutely, Sudhir. More transparency is required. In fact, I want to go back to Mr. Berwal once again. Mr. Berwal, one thing is very clear. If the political parties somewhere agree to this and say, okay, we're ready for the RTI, you will agree with me when I say this. A, of course, it's bringing about more transparency. B, something very important in today's day and age, and right now, we need to have a trust-building measure between the people and political parties. It will help people to trust their leaders and parties furthermore. Don't you agree with me, Mr. Berwal?
Absolutely. See, one of the things which has been continuously been talking about is that these declarations are already there with Election Commission and Income Tax Department.
Yes.
See, there is one very big difference. For example, the declarations with the Election Commission and Income Tax Department are only for those donations which are more than 20,000 rupees. Now, there are parties all across India who are getting donations in hundreds of crores. But they say that we have not got any money which is more than 20,000 rupees, which means that we have no idea of where these hundreds of crores of rupees have come to them. Now and Election Commission has written to the Law Ministry. Law Ministry has said, no, this is fine, we will look at this and this. Now that CIC has said, okay, you come under RTI. Now any citizen can ask this.
Right. All right. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Berwal. Stay with me. I want to bring in a caller first from Kolkata. We have Mr. Chattopadhyay. Go ahead. Speak your mind out.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead.
My point is CIC has given a unique direction and I congratulate the CIC. Corruption has gone up in our country because of the political leaders and the bureaucrats, and political leaders are coming from political parties. So these parties should make the people answerable to the public for their all accounts, donations from where they are receiving, everything we want.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll have to cut you short there, sir. I'll have to cut you short there. Thanks very much, Mr. Chattopadhyay. Mrs. Kaur, I want to understand why the maximum callers we have got from across the country. There has been caller from Pune, from Kolkata, from Chennai. Mrs. Kaur, there is this growing appetite amongst the people who want further information. Why are you curbing that?
It's not question of curbing. I welcome the concern of citizens. That does so that there is credibility of political parties.
Absolutely.
And that question, I agree. I am not denying, and I am happy about these kinds of reactions. First thing I want to say is that what was being told by one of the person, that now the political parties will say that High Court also should not fund. It's not that. Don't put it in a cynical way. Third thing which I want to say, declaration is one thing. I am saying every political party should file their returns in Income Tax Department. Then they will be forced to tell what are your sources of funding, how you got it, and where are the expenditures. That should be brought here. Improve those systems instead of having only declarations. Improve electoral reforms, bring electoral reforms, improve the system of selection of candidates and how you can bar. Even those where the trial has begun, challan has been filed, charges are framed, they should also be stopped from contesting election, not only waiting for conviction.
So you are coming back to electoral reforms,
there are many areas.
You are coming back to electoral reforms.
Yeah,
Okay.
Last caller,
ma'am.
System is breeding corruption without touching system and correcting it without touching the policies which breed corruption, just with CIC telling bring under RTI political parties.
You know, we have been expecting the system to change forever. This CIC order is sending down jitters amongst political parties, and we cannot, and we have to agree with that because we can see it as one of the examples. I'm going to take a last caller, ma'am, before I come to you. Go ahead, Vihar from Pune. Speak your mind out. The last caller on the show, Vihar.
Good evening, sir. My name is Vihar Durve from Pune.
Yes.
I have filed an RTI application seeking the information from Central Board of Direct Taxes that what action they have taken on the basis of the Election Commissioner recommendations for implementation of the accounting standards.
Did you get a reply, Vihar? Did you get a reply?
No, I got a letter from Prime Minister's office also. I got a letter from Appellate Authority also. But still they have a Central Public Information Officer. He has not furnished me any information whether the accounting standards have been followed or not.
Okay, Vihar, thanks very much for that point. I'm going to leave the show with last voice on the show. Sunita Godara, go ahead, speak the minder of the people of country and what they want.
See, all the parties always say we want political reform, we want this, we want that, we want transparency, we want accountability, but they never do it. So, which they only have to do, public can't do it. So now this RTI will put public pressure.
Yes.
Public pressure, which is very important now, and main thing, there should be, election commission has to be tight. When they are not tight, then naturally public has to come
We'll have to leave it at that. It's very evident that the people of India are watching and are expecting the parties to rise above and set standards of transparency. Thank you very much, Mr. Amarjit Kaur, Sunita Godara and Mr. Anil Beriwar for joining us on the show and speaker tonight. That's all from me, Akshat, and for now, NewsX at 9 coming up next. Good night.